Well, I lived in Cuyahoga County all my life. I've been in business for myself for over 30 years. When the recession started, instantly made a difference in my business, and unfortunately I had to cut down staff eventually. What I've noticed about the county and the government here, we've basically been under one party since I can remember. And when I saw the show, there was something about Ken that I liked. What impressed me the most, though, is he could live anywhere he wants to live, and he chooses to stay here. I still feel that this area has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of resources here in the people and also natural resources that we could take advantage of. And from what I've seen from Ken Lancy, I think he'd do a good job at cultivating those resources. The fact also that he's doing all this for $1. I mean, what more can you say about that? That's really different. I've heard him say he's not a politician, and I believe that. I think he's just a guy with a good heart who really has this area and the best interests of this area in mind. Well, when my wife and I saw the show and saw how much Ken's putting into it and where his heart was, we figured that the least we could do is call and donate something to his campaign. And I believe in what he's doing, and I hope he's successful.
The most important person in Ken Lancy's campaign is you. Only with your support can we bring the change that this county deserves. Seize the moment. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
I remember the first time I walked into Ken Lancy's office, and I didn't know what to expect. He brought up the fact that he wanted to do a reality TV show based around his campaign, and I thought to myself, well, there's a challenge.
One of the ideas that I had was that we're doing it's a reality docu-infomercial. We're going to run a show every week where it is going to be getting to know me, who I am, what the movement is to independent. It would be the making of the independent candidate.
The challenge of the show is in capturing the reality of it, I guess, and there's always something going on. So waiting around for that moment, and sometimes you miss that moment. You point the cameras in a direction and something happens or it doesn't.
I recall one particular day that I was shooting. It was the Unity Day event at Luke Easter Park. And, at least 20,000 people showed up. Lancy was there. He was one of the key sponsors for the event. And there were other candidates who were there, but they weren't sponsors. They weren't entitled to certain privileges such as, campaign banners, balloons, and such. And one particular candidate kind of broke the rules.
Well, you can tell. I'm not gonna. We talked with Larry Hamilton. This is the head of our police force. He will take care of it. He will take care of it.
Can I tell you something privately?
You can tell me something privately. Let him tell you what the rules are.
We're done anyway. We're done for the day. We're done. We're leaving anyway. So we're done for the day.
There was a confrontation between the councilman who was sponsoring the event and this particular politician. And I was there with my camera to capture it on tape, and it really kind of showed how hardball politics are played in Cuyahoga County.
A lot of times I think these guys may not realize the goodness that they have when they get back here with the footage. They were at the Seven Hills Home Days. Ken's out, he's talking to people, he's meeting with the mayor, and it was a windy day, and a tent blew over. And they lucked out, they got the camera turned in time to catch Ken running over to get this tent set back up. He's not just standing around watching. He's not barking an order. When something bad happens, he's right there trying to fix it. And seeing that for me showed me, he wants to help. And not just in a general sense like everyone else. He's going to help. And I like the fact that I got the chance to share that with everybody.
I've spent a good amount of time around Ken Lancy during the production of the show, in between, behind the scenes. Ken Lancy is the real deal with this. He's not doing this because he needs it in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't. He legitimately wants to help us.
Quite often people will say to me, well, why do you live in Cleveland? Why are you still in Ohio? There's a lot of places that I could live, and quite honestly, I'm not leaving Cleveland and in Northeast Ohio. It's where my family's at, it's where my friends are. I've been here my entire life. Hopefully, I'll be able to make a difference here to be able to keep my grandchildren here.
we're committed here. We're going to be here the rest of our lives. We may travel around, but we're going to be here. And I believe that, my grandchildren will have the opportunity to stay here as well.
After I met Ken, it was, it wasn't too long thereafter that I got introduced to his wife. We went out to the house and we met Linda Lancey. I didn't know what to expect. I found Ken, and here's this down-to-earth guy. Well, what is this woman going to be like who's been wealthy for a good deal of her life here? And probably not to my surprise. I mean, who else would Ken be married to? But this lovely woman who's just this warm, caring, loving, nurturing mother and wife, and just a wonderful human being.
I think my greatest influence on Ken for this campaign is being supportive and backing him and telling him that he is totally the right person for this position.
We were working on his birthday party. They'd been out filming it, and nobody's acting at a birthday party. It's a surprise party. We got the cameras trying to hide behind the closet. It was a lot of fun to see him just at his natural element, out with his family, smiling, having fun. These are just some very genuine and caring people.
Happy birthday to you. What you are.
Good job. Okay, thank you guys.
Was a housing professional to go through the county and see so much blight. That's a real problem for me. You can go down any street and see countless for sale signs in the front yard where you would normally see the kids out playing. I think it's important too with a child on the way to have a direction and a vision on trying to raise them in an environment like we had. I mean, community is everything. And I think from seeing the show, to see him interact with family, to know that there's a deep family connection, was a real good thing for me. One of the things that impressed me was the way that they're doing the contributions for the campaign. And I mean, if he has his own skin in the game, then I'll put mine in. Every little bit helps. So a little bit of listening, a little bit of input, a little bit of support from a whole lot of people will be the thing that really is the change agent for our county.
Ken Lancey can turn this county around, but only with your support. Your call is the first step to the change we deserve.
Bruce will come in and he'll have a great idea. And sometimes I dread these great ideas, but most of the time I'm kind of excited by them because what he really means is a challenge.
The most technically difficult shoot on the show thus far was probably the 4th of July parade. Ken had hired a aerial service to tow a banner saying, "Vote Ken Lancey." And I jokingly made the suggestion of we should put me up in the plane. Turned out that's really illegal. But they had a helicopter more than willing to take me up. And I've never flown before. So being strapped into a helicopter with a seatbelt that I don't really think is the most effective seatbelt, and not having a door and hanging out the helicopter windows, quite an adventure. At the same time, that was choreographed between myself shooting the plane and then a man on the ground shooting both the parade, the reactions to the parade, and the reactions to the airplane from the campaign staff, to culminate when it finally got to editorial to being a nice little piece about the 4th of July and the symbolism behind it.
We probably have done a few things that are what might be deemed semi-dangerous. Not illegal, certainly, but at least a little on the dangerous side.
I remember when we were working on the second episode of the show, we really wanted to get Ken arriving at the town hall meeting. You know, crept up on me, I should be in the trunk of a car, going at full speed with Ken right behind us. We did that. It was a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun, and we feel like we're doing something that's really positive.
To this date, we have made a digital eagle fly. We've had a map of Cuyahoga County perform its own version of Connect the Dots. We have probably keyed 40 things on this very green screen, 40 people into different backgrounds. There were check marks that Jay added, text that types across the screen. We had to program that.
Yeah, I made this.
Yeah, the music videos, hundreds of layers of opticals, the color correction. Generally speaking, with color correction, you have 2 cameras. They're never going to be exactly identical. Just getting that balanced out is incredibly difficult. This is what we do to show you what he does.
we have a great crew here that we've assembled, and they're all really dedicated to working on the show, and it really transcends beyond a paycheck. It has to, Nobody puts in the kind of hours we do, on a deadline day. We're going to come in at 8 in the morning, and we won't get out of here till noon or 2 o'clock the next day on deadline day, and that has nothing to do with a paycheck, believe me. I think one of the challenges every week is trying to create a fresh approach. Sometimes you need a vehicle.
Who are you? Do I know who you are? I've seen that face, but now I just can't place it. Who are you? Are you someone that I should know? Would you please refresh my mind? Maybe I will remember this time. Who are you? I think I saw your picture on the bus, but now I'm really not sure. Who are you? Are you someone that I should know? So please, one more time before I go, would you please refresh my mind? So maybe I will remember next time. Who are you? Do I know who you are? I've seen that face, but now I just can't place it. Who are you? Are you someone that I should know? Are you someone 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 I should know?
I remember the first day I met Ken Lancey, and we struck up a conversation, got a feel for what I did for a living, and said, hey, would you be interested in doing a television show? And he spills this whole thing out in front of me, And so he told me this whole idea for this television show, and I'm thinking, wow, here's something really new. I mean, it's like this could reinvent the way people get elected to office if it's done right. And we've been trying to do it right ever since, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. Segment 1, segment 2.
Talking heads, career tap dancers, suddenly have all the answers. You can't fix the mess when you're the one who God is feeling. You failed the test. We can't wait another minute. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone. You don't want the same old players to play the same old song. Seize the moment, 'cause when it's gone, then it's gone.
Paid for by Citizens for Ken Lancey. Joseph Casaro, Treasurer.